It's time for a virtual campfire sit-down with Terry Wyce. Welcome to Wyce Thoughts.
Hey, Heidi, Heidi, ho there, campers. Welcome to our virtual campfire sit-down. Welcome to Wyce Thoughts. I am Terry Wyce, and I am so glad you decided to join me today on the podcast. Just want to let you know, I have a website for the podcast, wycethoughts.com. Just make sure you spell my name right, W-Y-C-E, wycethoughts.com. There you can listen to each and every episode of the podcast. Also, while you're on the Wyce Thoughts website, check out the blog at the top of the page. It's entitled Wyce Life. And there I wax poetic on all the show topics and whatever happens to strike my fancy at the time. It's all waiting for you at wycethoughts.com. There is also a YouTube channel called Wyce Thoughts. Search for it on YouTube. And if you want to reach out to me on X, I used to say tweet at me on Twitter. Elon, please, can you change the name of the platform back to Twitter? I just like Twitter. But anyway, you can contact me on X at Terry Wyce. And also I have a professional website, wyceproductions.com. If you're looking for any kind of audiobook narration, voiceover work, anything that you want a voice applied to, I'm available. Check it out. Think you'll find me very wallet-friendly. All right, enough of the shameful plugging, as it were. How are you? I hope all is well with you as we gather yet again around the virtual campfire, as I like to call it. And what are we going to talk to, oh, pray tell? What are we going to talk about, I should say, on this episode of Wyce Thoughts? Here's what I've been thinking on, even, dare I say, go as far to say I've been ruminating on. And sometimes rumination is a good thing, and most of the time it's not. But I've been ruminating and thinking on today's society and the rudeness, and I'm not trying to make this a negative episode of the podcast, mind you, but the out-and-out rudeness of some people, and maybe it's because I have higher expectations than maybe most. I just don't understand why some people are as rude as they are in today's world, and especially in the United States of America, from whence the program cometh. I encounter it almost daily. And I know some of you out there are probably sitting there shaking your heads, rolling your eyes, saying, come on, Terry, I mean, you know what? Water off a duck's back. Let it go. But here's my point. There is a certain level of rudeness that I will just let go. However, there are some things that really, they're a burr in my saddle, as it were, a pebble in my stone or a pebble in my shoe. And one of the things is when you're talking to someone on the phone, and I have worked in the past customer service-oriented jobs where people would call in to the organization and speak with you. And boy, oh boy, some of you out there, man, you better check yourself when you start calling businesses up. Because you, and I'm saying you as a generalized statement, some of you out there have this air about you, this attitude that you think you are the greatest thing since Christ walked the earth. And you talk to customer service representatives horribly, with such disrespect and that. And I know some of you, again, are going to probably roll your eyes, and you're out there saying, yeah, but, sometimes the business really screwed up and, they double, triple bill. Well, remember, folks, it's not the poor sap on the end of the line that's answering the phone's fault. They didn't have a secret meeting in the break room that day or even the week before and said, hey, we're going to mess up Terry Wyce's account. Yeah, let's do that. There was no malice or forethought in it. It's a screw-up. Now, wherever it happened, whether it was somebody pushing a button or lack thereof, it is not that individual who picks up the phone and says, "Hi, thank you for calling XYZ. My name is blah, blah. How may I help you?" Act like an adult. I've had times, believe me, I've had times where I've been hot under the collar, when an organization has not once but twice in the span of a short time span screwed up something on my account or access or what have you. And I've been pissed off, for lack of a better word. I've been very pissed off. However, I check myself before I call the organization and realize that it is not the other individual picking up the phone. I would go with the conversation, something to the effect of, "Hi, this is Terry Wyce, and here's my, I know you have to verify certain information. Here you go." Okay. So the reason for my call is I'm a little bit, and I'll use words such as confused. Bewildered is a great one. If you're angry and pissed, substitute that for bewildered. I'm a little bewildered by this charge I got, or the double charge I got. I was wondering, might you be able to assist me in better understanding it? And if not, maybe direct me to whom I need to speak. Wow! Doesn't that sound professional? Doesn't that sound like you're a human being addressing another human being and not being a total fool and acting like a child? At some points, we do have way too many overgrown children in this nation, my friends, that really need to look in the mirror and address their behavior. Because contrary to your beliefs out there, and believe me, I had to learn this lesson quite a few years ago as well, and I am still a work in progress, but you are not the most important thing on this planet or in the universe. You are not even a grain of sand inside of a grain of sand in the big scheme of things. You just happen to be hitching a ride on this big blue orb like the rest of us. Now, I'm not saying you don't have a right to be angry and, experience your feelings. Not saying that at all. We all do. We all have a right to our feelings. However, contrary to what may be being pushed out in society nowadays or in the past decade or two all over the world about, your feelings matter more than anything else, no, they don't. You have a right to experience them. You have a right to feel them. And, but the thing is, you need to work through your feelings like an adult. You're not 9 years old anymore, sir, ma'am. You, they, them, us. We are not 9 years old anymore. Act like an adult. And if you can't, if you find yourself losing your shit, as they say, losing your composure, losing yourself every time the littlest thing sets you off, well, then maybe it's time to seek some mental help. Seriously. I've had periods in my life where I've my wife is my sounding board. She'll be like, "Honey, let it go. Oh my God, you're like a dog with a bone. It was just, a little bit of extra onions on your sub." Just for an example out there. So I am not standing here on a moral soapbox or a moral high-top mountain looking down on all of you and saying, all hail Terry Wyce. I have all the answers. I am the epitome and an example you should follow. No, what I'm saying is that just things I encounter here in my life and have encountered and continue to encounter every so often on a daily basis in my travels around this planet, I'm letting you know, yes, I've been there, done that, and just what I'm seeing, what I'm experiencing, what my experience is, and how I feel about it. I'm expressing my feelings on this podcast. So not only in that, but also, you people on the other side of the phone, you folks that work at a business or on the other side of the counter, hey, listen up, all right? Listen up. You're getting paid to do a job. Whether you agree with the pay you're getting or not, whether you like your job or not, you're there, you're being paid, you're not doing it for free Last time I checked, most businesses will pay you a salary or an hourly wage and some form of benefits. Act accordingly when you're representing your organization, your business. And if you're having a bad day, you got two options, my friends. You can call out sick and don't go in, or you stuff that garbage and compartmentalize it. There's a word, compartmentalize. Learn what it means. Look it up on the internet. Compartmentalize that issue that's going on at home, in your personal life, or whatever. Shove that stuff to the side, put it in its place. You deal with work and be pleasant and polite and do your job. And I'm not coming from a standpoint on this side of the microphone and saying, hey, I've never been a jerk to someone. I have. We all have. Come on, let's be honest. Let's be honest here on the podcast on Wyce Thoughts today, shall we? Let's be honest. There's too much fakery going on. Oh, my life's perfect. I've got it all. Baloney. None of us have it all together. Even these people, these influencers you see on social media that seem to have the perfect life. Oh, we're vacationing in the Hamptons this year, and I'm going to the Bahamas. But everyone has problems. Everyone falls short. Everyone has a bad day. Sometimes bad days. Sometimes bad months or years. We all have issues. Sometimes our issues have issues, okay? We're all there. We're all in the same boat. So understand that. And if you think that some influencer on social media or some person that you watch on a talk show or a video podcast or a news type show or a documentary has it all together, think again. We all have issues. We all have a private life. We all have our own secret issues we're dealing with, family issues, what have you. But you've got to learn to compartmentalize, especially if you're public facing in a profession that does that. How many instances have you seen? Come on, let's be honest. Again, honesty here on Wyce Thoughts around the virtual campfire today. How many things have you seen on the news about people losing their composure, losing their stuff in public, getting thrown off planes, getting thrown out of concerts, getting thrown out of businesses? There's all kinds of videos of it all over the internet because we're all carrying a mini TV studio with us nowadays. So you really can't get away with acting like a buffoon. I said buffoon or a goofball because odds are it's going to be caught on camera somehow. So you might as well make the effort to invest in yourself and learn how to handle and work through your feelings and stop being rude and ignorant. And I'm saying this to myself as well. I continually work on it too. There's been times I've snapped at my wife and she's like, what the heck is wrong with you? I'm sorry, you made bad sleep. I apologize. Learn how to I apologize for my behavior. I apologize for my flippant remark. Hey, thank you for your patience and putting up with me the other day. I was not on my best behavior. I appreciate it. Things like that. And again, learn to compartmentalize those feelings, work through those feelings. And if you're in a profession where you're going to be facing the public, do the one of the two things. You either call your ass out and stay home, don't go in, or compartmentalize it and work through it. That's what adults do. That's what well-adjusted people do. And you know what? Once you learn how to work through your feelings and address them and come to grips with them and come to acceptance with certain things on your feelings, I got news for you. You're going to be a happier person. Honestly, look how many gloomy cusses are. Well, it's the political climate. That's why I'm so angry. Or, oh, I don't make enough money. Or it's the weather. So what? Those things are always going to be around. There's always going to be factors around. Well, my kid did this, or my wife did that, or my friend did this, or this one's not calling me back, or that one's ghosting me. So what? You are responsible for your own happiness. You don't need to be rude to other people. You don't have to deflect. And, I know there's a mental health term for it where you take your crappy feelings and how you're feeling, project. There we go. You don't have to project your misery onto other people. See how that works? I did that mind process there, Mr. Producer Extraordinaire. Look at that. I'm amazing. No, I am wonderful. Yes, no. Anyhow, you don't have to project your misery and your sadness onto everybody else. Quite frankly, we don't care. Well, we care to some extent, but for gosh sakes, we're all on this big blue orb together. We're all traveling together. So stop being rude to each other, okay? And if someone's having a bad day and being rude, try to have a little understanding. You don't have to fight fire with fire, as they say. Try to have a little understanding and compassion and realize. But again, you're responsible for your happiness. Stop being rude, America. Hey, thanks for listening to the program today. I truly appreciate each and every one of you out there. And remember, to see a change in the world, you have to be the change in the world you want to see. It all starts with you, the person looking back at you in the mirror every morning. Remember to be kind to yourself, be kind to others. If you want to tweet at me on Twitter, it's at Terry Wyce. Stop by the website, wycethoughts.com, just to make sure you spell my name right, W-Y-C-E, wycethoughts.com. And hey, leave us a positive rating and review on your favorite podcast provider, won't you? Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your pets about Wyce Thoughts. And I look forward to gathering yet again around the virtual campfire with you real soon. Take care.